Welcome to NTR Takeout, back with more TikTok news updates on the floods happening across the world that we may not be seeing on the news. Let's continue to stay aware and knowledgeable about these events taking place as we continue to pray for all the families being affected at this time. Thank you.
Take a look at this video. This is my trigger warning. It is heart-wrenching.
I found a guy buried alive up to his neck 3 days after the flood. They went to go pull him out. He said, "Leave me here, let me die." They said, "Why?" He said, "My family's dead, I know it." Rescue workers reply, "We're finding lots of people that have been missing for several days. They're probably still alive." He said, "No, I know they're dead." They were buried below me and stopped scratching my leg 3 days ago. That. Why is that not being covered by the media? If there is a single story to summarize the devastation of this event on the people, this is it. And why is it not being covered?
Now I have to tell you, if I'm ever in that similar situation, I would ask all of you, humanely, to put me down.
So while everyone was sleeping last night, you had people being heroes in Roswell, New Mexico because of flash flooding, y'all. This guy is driving this truck around looking for people who are looking for help, y'all. This literally appeared out of nowhere last night. Look at this. Look at this, y'all. Bro, are you kidding me? How does this happen? Within several hours, too. No hurricane. The only thing is, it's been raining consistently throughout New Mexico, and this was the results of it, y'all. Already within a few hours. Look at that, y'all. You hear that? People are yelling for help. Y'all heard that? Now here's what's happening, y'all. The water is finding nowhere to go. They're not receding. So that means these towns are staying flooded. I told y'all about Florida. See, I don't even think nobody knows about this yet because, like I said, this all took place last night while everybody was sleeping. Things are happening on the planet at an alarming rate, y'all. It's like the weather is just going off the scale. I told you.
Mayday! Mayday! Pescheria di Canaria! Siamo l'acqua è arrivando a Goggio! Scappiamo!
In the River Arts District in Asheville, and you can see behind me how all of the buildings here have been destroyed from Helene. The water from the river went above the buildings and destroyed everything inside. We were just talking to local artists who are now using what's left, the cinder blocks here behind me that are left, and they're taking them over to mobile homes in Asheville and propping up those mobile homes for residents who were also impacted by Hurricane Helene. And we were talking to a resident there at the mobile homes who still doesn't have potable water. The water inside their mobile homes is brown, and they're thankfully getting help from others in the community with showers and with drinkable water, and finding ways to be able to wash their dishes and just make ends meet as they're going on essentially 3 weeks now of having no potable water and still recovering from the hurricane.
Water in Florida right now, the flooding, right? That water is not going away. So some of them spots that normally after a flood or the water gets high, that water would recede and go away. But they're saying that the water is still sitting there. The interesting part is there was a new map, and I'm not quite sure if you guys have seen that map, but with all of these storms, with all of this water incoming and these areas being flooded, and then you look at that map, it really makes you think. Was that map really meant to give you a warning of displacement in America? Or was that map just something somebody made up? But it's looking a lot like it's coming to fruition.
See right here, the water was up to the window. Even this house right here, next door, his neighbor, everything destroyed. The ground is literally clay. This is a thick, really smelly mud. Look at the destruction. Horrible, horrible.
The problem is that the top-down solution of controlling funding doesn't work. $750 doesn't do anything for someone that's lost everything. Covering a hotel for 3 days or 5 days doesn't do anything for someone that's lost everything. That is not the solution. We cannot solve the problem of rebuilding a community by giving somebody $1,000 and patting them on and saying, thanks for coming by, I hope this helps. It's an insult. What we can do, though, is we can continue to drive and demonstrate what it is to rebuild from the bottom up. What we can do is show that if we have the ability to take charitable funds and inject it directly back into the community, we can hire and contract the necessary people that are already doing the job to help do what they're already doing and make money doing it. We can rebuild the community by injecting capital where it has to go so that the community can rebuild itself, they can fund itself, they can pay themselves, and they can see what actually coming back from devastation looks like. You guys understand, like that's the mission here now. This is not a rescue mission anymore. We're not rescuing individuals anymore. Now we're talking about community survival and rescue, community reconstruction, rebuilding the opportunity for people to come back to a place where they have so much success that they can't even believe what it looked like before. You guys are doing that, all of you. And I'm humbled to be a part of it. Absolutely awestruck at how many people are still here after this long. This never happens. 5 days, everybody's gone, man. And you all are still here. That is a testament to your will, your resilience, and your determination. And I cannot thank you enough. This is it. This is the chance. Finally, this is the opportunity. This is a message that's happening. God put us here for a reason. The time is exactly what it's supposed to be. And this is the conversation that we have to have at a national level.
So France is currently underwater, and for some reason it is nowhere to be found on the news. Bridges have been turned into waterfalls. Roads have turned into raging rivers. And street parking has turned into lakes. I'm not sure about you guys, but it sure seems like the birth pains are increasing and that the water is literally breaking. And France is not the only one dealing with flooding. We have India. Torrential rainfall has caused severe flooding. So on the top of my head, within the last couple months, we've had severe flooding in France, India, Bangladesh, I believe Indonesia, Taiwan, Vietnam, China, North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia, and Florida. And again, that's just the list on the top of my head. And if that was not bad enough, we have this coming out, how there is a urgent warning over intense solar storms strong enough to cripple the world's internet for weeks as NASA confirms we've hit the explosive peak in the sun's 11-year cycle.
Here's a little recent photo of our very angry sun.
When I saw that clip, I could not help to think how symbolic that is. So the sun is angry and firing off solar flares at the earth makes me think how the Son of God is angry and he is about to inflict judgment upon the world of fire. Now, I know I'm not the only one who sees the symbolism here, how the second coming of Jesus is always referred to a woman going through birth pains, the earth going through birth pains, and it sure seems like the water is breaking. And this is the slow increase of judgment that is about to fall upon the whole world. Now, with everything going on, I cannot stress enough to you guys, I cannot repeat myself enough to draw closer to the Lord now. No matter what you believe, whether you believe in a pre-tribulation rapture, be ready to face him. Or if you believe you're going through the great tribulation, draw closer to the Lord right now, letting go of this world so you are ready and prepared to go through these trials. I'm not going to argue and debate with people anymore about the timing of the rapture. Either way, the same thing needs to happen right now. You need to get your heart right. You need to get your heart focused on the Lord. Everything that you have right now, if it is not focused upon the Lord, if it has any type of selfishness, any type of sin that you are holding on to, you need to let it go. You need to let it go, because whether we are raptured, then we need to face Christ at the judgment seat, and we want to have confidence at that judgment seat that we have grown in intimacy with him, that we gain our rewards and inheritance at that judgment seat. Or if we go through the great tribulation, that you are prepared spiritually, having him close to you, that you are close to him, that he is guarding you and covering you with protection because you are in a tight relationship with him and you are a friend of God, like Abraham was a friend of God. So either way, the same thing needs to happen right now with your heart. Have it aligned with the Lord. Pray that your will aligns with his will, that your desires align with his desires, and get the gospel out. Love others, allow the fruit of the Spirit to come forth, and use this as urgency. Do not allow this information to cause fear and anxiety. Allow it to cause urgency in your life to draw closer to the Lord.